If you are preparing for UPSC, then you would perhaps know the importance of Science Reporter magazine for preparing for Science and Technology portion for UPSC Prelims. And this is why today I have 5 set of questions for you from Science Reporter, and I'm going to check your knowledge for your preparation for UPSC, specifically for Science and Technology. A very good evening to everybody. I am Shailender Singh, and as I said, the questions are picked out from Science Reporter, and it would be a very special session for you wherein you can test your knowledge and preparation level with regard to science and technology. Everybody, please go to menti.com and use this code 974622 so that you can participate in the quiz. Go to menti.com and use this code 974622. Those of you who are joining the session for the first time. Alright, so we have some participants pouring in, and as usual it's going to be a very tough competition out here, and let's see who emerges as the winner at the end of the day. Alright guys, hurry up, please hurry up. Use this code 974622 by going to menti.com. Also guys, don't forget to like this session, share it, and also subscribe to Gradeup IAS channel. So, all set for the first question of the day. Is everybody ready and prepared to take on the first question? Alright, and here we have the first question in front of you. Let's see what it says. Which of the following statements with regard to Earth are correct? You have to identify the correct ones. There are 2 statements out here and you have to identify the correct ones. So you have sufficient time for answering, and it's not a very difficult question. If you see, it's a moderate difficulty level question. So you have ample time to answer it, and you can get it right. Please try to get it right. The beginning has to be good so that you can have a lead over the rest of the candidates and competitors as well. Alright, so everybody has done the voting, and it's a very good start. 2 of you have got it right, and the answer is indeed C, option C, which is both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2 are correct. And let's see who are those 2 guys who have got it right this time. And Anu, fantastic beginning, and Krunal as well. So Anu is leading the charts with 923 points, who is also the fastest, by the way. And then we have Krunal at the second place with 806 points, and then Shikutan and Nemo, you have yet to make any mark on the leaderboard. I'm sure that you will do in the coming questions. There are 4 more questions to come, so don't worry, you have sufficient questions to answer and handle. So let's see how it goes going forward. Alright, as for the explanation part, guys, this is talking about the correct statement number 1, and the first statement is saying that Earth's distance from the sun permits an average temperature of 15 degrees centigrade. This is absolutely right. Cozy for life to thrive and make liquid water to be available on its surface. Now guys, there is something called as Goldilocks zone. I repeat, it is very important, has been asked in the UPSC before. Goldilocks zone, and can be repeated in the exam, because UPSC does tend to repeat its questions after a span of couple of years. So Goldilocks zone or habitable zones, they are that region near a star which are neither too far away from it, neither too hot or not too cold, and they enable the right temperature, just the right temperature, so that liquid water is available. The water is available in the form of liquid. If the planet is too close, then the water will evaporate into the atmosphere, and if the planet is too far away from the sun, then the water would freeze and would be in the form of ice. And naturally, we know that for sustaining life we need liquid water. So these planets, including the Earth, they are in the Goldilocks zone when the temperature is just right enough so that liquid water can be maintained and the Earth is habitable, and it's roughly 15 degrees average temperature on the planet, that is Earth. As for the second statement, modern humans have been in existence on Earth for more than 200,000 years. This is absolutely right. So we, that is the human species, and to be more particular, Homo sapiens, because you know there are a lot of human species, Homo species, and there are a couple of them like Neanderthals, Homo erectus. Then the modern humans we are specifically talking about here, we are not talking about rest of the hominids. We are just talking about the modern humans or the Homo sapiens. So we have been around for roughly 200,000 to 300,000 years, and it is suggested that we emerged from a place called eastern part of Africa. Maybe it could be Ethiopia, it could be Tanzania, that area. So it was the transition of the apes to becoming the modern humans. This is the time we evolved, and after that we migrated from Africa. The Homo sapiens, they migrated from Africa, eastern part of Africa, roughly about 70,000 to 1 lakh years to different parts of the world. And you know, human beings happen to be the most important and dominant species ever to have been born. Not important, but of course dominant. The way we have changed the overall topography and the impact we have had on the Earth as a whole, as a species. So this is exactly the right answer. And let's move to the next question of the day, which is question number 2. All right, so all set for question number 2, guys. Those of you, as I just said, again instruction for you, menti.com पर जाना है, 974622. This is the code you have to use so that you can also participate in the quiz, and the competition here becomes really challenging for everybody indeed. So the question number 2 is here in front of you, and this is the question on your screen. Answer it very, very carefully so that you can maintain lead from the beginning itself. Which of the following statements are correct? We have to identify again the correct ones. 2 statements are given. The sun, the supporter of all the life on earth, has a lifespan of 1 billion years from now. That means 1 billion years is the time that is left for the sun that will be in existence. Then the second statement says the dinosaurs and some other species which roamed the earth for 160 million years were wiped out by an asteroid strike about 65.6 million years ago. So काफी ये वाला तो जो second statement है काफी news में रहता है time पे, and let's see, okay, nobody has been able to answer it correctly. All right, never mind. The leaderboard remains unchanged with Anu leading the pack and followed by Krunal. So no change in the leaderboard. What is it talking about? It is asking to identify the correct statement. As for the first statement, the sun, the supporter of all the life on earth, has a lifespan of 1 billion years from now. This is incorrect. Actually, it is 4.5 billion years. So it is already 4.6 billion years old, and it is said that it is 4.5 to roughly about 5 billion years that its lifespan is remaining. So itna time abhi bhi bacha hai sun ko. After that it will get converted into the red giant phase. It will be transformed into the red giant phase, and when it will transform into the red giant phase, the planets that are very close to sun like Mercury, Venus and perhaps Earth, they will be engulfed, because in the red giant phase the size of sun will expand, and that will really engulf Mercury, Venus, and it is said perhaps Earth also, and that will lead to the destruction of all life forms on the earth and even Earth itself. As for the second statement, the dinosaurs and some other species which roamed the earth for 160 million years were wiped out by an asteroid strike about 65.6 million years ago. This is absolutely right. So the dinosaurs, they roamed the earth for a very, very long time. You can see roughly 16 crore years, which happens to be very, very long time. If we see our own species that has been on the planet for a relatively very small time, and they were wiped out by an asteroid strike. And this event, when this strike took place, it is called by the scholars as Cretaceous Tertiary strike event. KT event इसको बोलते हैं, and it is the event wherein there was this asteroid that struck the earth, which is perhaps a place in the Gulf of Mexico, यहाँ पे strike किया, which led to such massive changes on the earth, because naturally it was coming at an intensity and speed of very fast in 64,000 kilometers per hour, and that shook the earth. It created a lot of vibration, earthquakes, massive lava outpouring, and it also clouded the sun. So it had this very adverse impact not only on the dinosaurs but on all the species of the earth, almost all. And it is suggested that some 75% of all the species, life forms on the earth, they got extinct because of this KT event that I just talked about. So the statement second is absolutely right with regard to the dinosaurs. Now you know why all of you got this incorrect. Alright, so we have another question for you, never mind. UPSC, a very good evening to you, and Manisha, good evening to you as well. Alright, so we have menti.com, and you have to go there. By the way, 974622, this is a code you have to use so that you can also participate. Never mind, Manisha, if you joined late, you have still 3 questions and you can make a lot of difference in these 3 questions. It can really decide as to who is the winner. So it's not too late for you. And guys, also please do like the session and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to Gradeup IAS channel if you haven't so far, so that you can get notifications for the sessions that I conduct and other sessions as well. Alright, so all geared up to take on the next question of the day, question number 3. Guys, I want some real scores out here, and please answer it very carefully. So here's the question on the screen, which says, which of the statements with regard to planets are correct? Again, it is asking you to identify the correct statements, and you have 4 options, A, B, C, D, and let me see how many of you can get it right. So 3 options are there, very pertinent with regard to UPSC prelims. इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं planet से related, the solar system, such kind of things are asked by UPSC. They have been asked in the previous years, and this happens to be one of such questions based on that model only. So you have to identify the correct one. You have sufficient time to answer. 3 statements are given. It's not a very difficult question, by the way. You shouldn't be taking that long. Alright, so everybody has voted, and let me see what is the score like. And how many of you, okay, none of you has got this right this time as well. Which is a bit surprising, by the way. It's not very difficult question. And the scoreboard would remain intact. No movement on the scoreboard. But yes, some activity in terms of more participants over here. So we have Handsome Shubh, Manisha and Clippy, 3 more entrants over here. But as for the score, it remains the same. Alright, so as for the question part, why you could not get it right, actually, as said, it's not that difficult if you see. Now this is asking you to identify the correct ones. As for the first statement, of all the rocky solid planets of our solar system, Venus appears to be the most suitable for future human habitat. Guys, come on, this is very basic. It's not Venus, it's Mars. Everybody knows that, like all the scientists and the focus of NASA, that is totally concentrated on Mars with regard to human habitation. Otherwise, you see, we are doing a lot of these missions, and we are sending these missions to all the planets, right from Mercury to Pluto and even beyond. But as far as the human habitation is concerned, that is solely concentrated on Mars, because Mercury and Venus happen to be very hot. In the case of Mercury, you know, it is very close to Sun, so naturally it will have very high temperatures during daytime and very low temperatures during night time. Why? Because there is almost no atmosphere in the case of Mercury. In the case of Venus, the atmosphere is actually very thick, many times more thicker as compared to Earth, and that is why it has got a lot of carbon dioxide, and the atmosphere is very dense to the extent that it has this very high temperature, the highest amongst all the planets. I repeat, the highest temperature amongst all the planets, which is like 462 degrees centigrade, even more than Mercury, because Mercury में अपना कोई atmosphere नहीं है, so the heat waves, the heat is not trapped, it gets released back into the solar system, into the outer space. In the case of the Venus, it gets trapped, and that is why the temperature of Venus is much higher than other planets. As for the second statement, Maven spacecraft was launched by European Space Agency in 2014. No, it was not launched by European Space Agency, but was launched by NASA in 2013. November 2013 में launch किया था, and September 2014 में orbit में पहुंच गया Maven spacecraft, which is Mars atmosphere and volatile environment. So this is the name of the spacecraft that were launched to conduct the study of upper atmosphere of Mars. Upper atmosphere का जो सर्वे है वो करने के लिए भेजा हुआ है, अभी भी एक्टिव है, and it is rendering very good service to NASA and the humankind as a whole. And as for the third statement, Martian soil is rich in iron compounds which give it a red hue. This is absolutely right. You know, Mars is called a red planet for this reason only, just like Earth is called a blue planet because of the presence of water. It appears to be a blue planet from the space, and likewise Mars appears red because of the rich iron compounds that are found in its soil. So iron oxide से जो reddish color आता है Mars का, because this is the oxide, the iron oxide, which renders red color to blood, to rust, and likewise to the Martian soil. So you know why you could not get it right this time, but never mind, we have two more questions coming your way, and there's some real chance you can make some difference on the leaderboard, and please be prepared for that. And for those of you who are just joining, please go to menti.com and use this code 974622 so that you can also participate and give some really tough competition to your friends out here. So guys, all set to take on question number 4. To charge at this question, please try to make sure that you get some scores out here, because for the last two questions I don't see any movement on the leaderboard, so I expect you to do well this time, and let's see how many of you can get it right. So here is question number 4 on your screens. Which of the statements with regards to terraforming are incorrect? टेराफॉर्मिंग के बारे में पूछा है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है, काफी डिस्कस किया जा रहा है, इवन दो इट इज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ हाइपोथेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट अभी भी, बट अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी एग्जाम. सो दो स्टेटमेंट दिए हुए हैं आपके सामने और आपको इनकरेक्ट आइडेंटिफाई करना है. सो 4 ऑप्शंस आर गिवन, A, B, C, D. So time is sufficient and you guys seem to be taking time. That is good. If you are making this correct choice, guys, please hurry up because time is going to be up and everybody has voted. And let me see how many of you got it right. Congratulations guys, 3 of you this time has got it right, and this is really fantastic. At least कुछ movement होगा अब leaderboard में, and I would really be curious to see what's the movement like. Actually, who are the people who have got this right? And let me see actually who are those people. And I can see some movement out here. So handsome Shubh has performed very handsomely this time, being the fastest and climbing up to the top of the charts with 974 points. Very handsome score indeed. Followed by Anu with 923 points, followed by Shrikutan. Shrikutan, you have also staged your entry on the leaderboard with 895 points, followed by Krunal 806 points and Manisha 602 points. Guys, you are doing very well. बहुत अच्छा किया आप लोगों ने इस क्वेश्चन में. And those of you who have not been able to score anything, Nilima and Clippy especially, आपके पास अभी भी एक क्वेश्चन है, and there's a lot you can do as far as the leaderboard is concerned, because nobody is actually way ahead than others. It's just some minor difference in points, and in the next question or the last question, if you happen to be the fastest, actually that could really alter the leaderboard dramatically. So let's see actually who does that in the next question. Before that, coming to the explanation part, as usual, Now you were supposed to identify the incorrect one in this question. As for the first statement, this is absolutely incorrect. Now, whenever we are talking about terraforming, we are not talking about a method to prevent the disastrous impact of climate change. It is not related to Earth. It is related to other planets, so that those planets can be made more habitable. It is basically the re-engineering, or re-engineering some changes or modifications that the human beings seek to do in other planets, and that planet particularly happens to be Mars because it's the best contender as far as the human habitation is concerned, which we just saw in one of the previous questions. So it is talking about changing the atmosphere of Mars. Atmosphere किस तरीके से change किया जा सकता है, किस तरीके से कुछ topographical change किया जा सकता है, engineering की जा सकती है, so that it can be made habitable for human beings. And this is why it is called terraforming. Terraforming का मतलब ही terra, what does terra mean? Terra means earth. So it is basically earth का जो formation है उससे related concept है, and you can make some links from the word itself. As for the second statement, terraforming involves releasing large quantities of heat-trapping greenhouse gases to raise the atmospheric pressure as well as the surface temperature. This is absolutely right. So it entails releasing a large quantities of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide that are trapped basically in the rocks, in the ice caps, and in the minerals in these places, to be more precise, Mars, and so that we can release a large quantity of heat trapping greenhouse gases, as I said, like carbon dioxide, like water vapor, so that the greenhouse gases, they could raise the temperature over there, they could create that atmosphere, because Mars has got this very thin atmosphere, and which will lead to some real change in the atmospheric conditions, so that human beings can sustain themselves there without having to depend on the external support. All right, so this happens to be absolutely correct. Why the first statement is absolutely incorrect? And now you know, those of you who are not aware about this concept, terraforming, a very important one indeed. Now coming to the last question of the day, question number 5, and this would really be the deal breaker out here, and let's see who gets this right. All right, so all set to take on the last question of the day. Those of you who have just joined in, menti.com पर जाइए and use this code 974622, because even at this stage you can really make a difference on the leaderboard if you get this last question right. So guys, all set, all geared up, all excited, and here is the question in front of you. Consider the following statements with regard to impact of microgravity present in space on the human body. It is talking about microgravity, and you have two statements, you have to identify the correct ones. Microgravity. You know, gravity is the very basis on the basis of which the earth has been running and the life has been sustaining on the earth the way it has been on the earth, and it's not there in other planets. So happens to be a very important factor and a very important concept indeed. And let me see how many of you can get it right. So you have to identify the correct statement. All right guys, please hurry up, the time is going to be up soon. Please vote fast. Countdown has already begun. Not much time is left, and there is hardly any time left, and everybody has voted, and this is really indeed very brilliant, just fantastic. 5 of you have got this right this time, and I'm really glad that we are ending this quiz on a very happy note that 5 of you have got this right, because आज कुछ questions में आप लोगों का blank score रहा, but never mind. And let me see how many of you have got, who all have got this right this time. Let's see what are the names like and who emerges as a winner of the game. The most interesting thing that is just to be found out, and we have some disruption taking place. And Anu, congratulations, you have won the quiz today. Congratulations, this is really a blitzkrieg on your part, and you have blazed a trail with 1832 points. Congratulations once again. Then it is followed by Shrikutan with 1790 points. Brilliant entry, Shrikutan. Again, fantastic job. Then followed by, the name is, I can't see clearly, it's Vanisha, I guess, with 1337 points. Manish, sorry, it's Manish out here with 1333 points. Congratulations, Manish. And it is followed by Shubh with 974 points, followed by Kunal, 820 points, followed by, I can't see the name, actually it's hidden behind the name of Anu, it's so large and prominent on the screen. So we have some name over here, followed by Krunal with 806 points, followed by Nilima has also made a comeback into the leaderboard with 553 points. Congratulations, Nilima. So at least jo end hai, end has been a very happy ending, just like Bollywood movies. So congratulations everybody once again, and let me see what is the question talking about for those of you who could not get it right. The question is talking about the impact of microgravity in space on the human body. Important concept. As for the first statement, microgravity of space can lead to loss of bone density and muscle mass, cardiac problems. Absolutely right, guys. This is like very basic. You know what is microgravity, right? Earth में gravity होती है, outer space में क्या होगा? Gravity का जो intensity that gets reduced very much to the extent that there is this weightlessness. You would have seen those astronauts floating about in the spacecraft. So that is weightlessness and microgravity ka impact, and that does lead to a lot of health issues, including decrease in bone density, muscle mass, cardiac arrest, loss of red blood cells, and immunodeficiency. So this is absolutely right. So if you stay there for a very long time, actually that can damage your health. But some of these impacts, they are reversible. So once you come back to the earth, they can be reversed. Then the second statement says, if humans plan to settle on Mars on a long-term basis, there may not be any reproductive problem. Obviously there would be reproductive problems. There could be reproductive problems because as of now we are not very sure as to what kind of changes with regard to reproductive patterns would follow if humans settle on Mars on a long-term basis. But there is no doubt that there is going to be issues because of the changes in gravity, because of the changes with regard to the environmental conditions. So all those factors could actually impact the reproductive cycle of the human beings and the development of the fetus also. So it can really have this adverse impact. As to what exactly would be the impact, nobody knows so far, because naturally nobody has been there, and whatever limited survey has been conducted in the outer space, whatever limited experiments have been conducted, they have been conducted on rats, on mice, etc. So it's not very conclusive so far, so we can't really say, but there is no doubt that this statement actually is incorrect. So you know now what is the right answer to this question. And by the way, most of you had already got it right, so I'm glad that you knew this and you were able to tackle this question already. Guys, towards the end of the quiz, here's this important announcement to you, for you, that we have this 5-year anniversary sale, because Gradeup has completed its 5 years yesterday, and as a token of appreciation for you all, we have this very brilliant limited offer subscription plan for you, wherein for 24 month subscription plan you will have to pay only 18,000 instead of 30. For 12 months it is 15,120, and for 6 month subscription plan you will have to pay 12,000 rupees only. So this is the most brilliant offer we could come up with. This is a very limited time offer, so please try to avail this. You can go to the description box, there you can click the link and you would be ready to enroll for this. And also guys, please make sure that you do like this video and also subscribe to Gradeup IAS. I'll see you on Monday. So it's a Monday to Friday series, so I'll see you next Monday, and then we will see who emerges as the winner in the next quiz as well. Alright, so thank you so much for participating in the quiz. Have a good day indeed. Have a good weekend. Take care.